Hello, everybody. This is Tim Torres from the best damn video game podcast ever on 2EX.com, and this is right after New York Comic Con 2014. We're in a Yotel room with Tatjana Vainovich.
Have you really never known to say my last name properly?
Please tell me.
Vainovich.
I was very close.
You were close. You were closer than most.
Thanks.
And Gabriel, you guys know me, maybe or not. Freelancer for Examiner and PC Magazine, and a contributing editor.
So, what do we want to talk about at Comic-Con? There weren't a whole lot of games this year.
No.
There were not, which is weird because I thought we were building up towards like a gaming mecca of sorts here, because every year for the past 4 or so years it seemed like more and more games kept getting added.
Yeah.
And then they took them all away this year.
Yeah, Nintendo's presence was very sorely missed, unfortunately. I mean, they have a lot on their plate with Smash Brothers just releasing and Bayonetta coming out at the end of the month. But, you know, whatever, that's fine. Ubisoft was also missing, which is a little disappointing, unfortunately. And I forgot what their excuse was for not showing up.
I'm sure it's something good, right?
Yeah, they're working on their 30 frames per second cinematic experience.
They probably couldn't render plane tickets fast enough.
That's
Probably.
Female plane tickets.
power of the
Ooh, shit.
power of the PS4.
But there was, who was there? There was no Nintendo, no Sony, no Microsoft. Really.
Which is weird that there was no Sony, because there were Sony event people here
There was a Sony event
that I know,
in town.
and I didn't run into them, but through social media, I knew that they were here. So it's
Yeah.
like, why were they here?
Sony had an event in town. I'm not familiar because I didn't go to it, but I know that they were here. And from one of the guys I was speaking with, he saw Bloodborne and a couple of titles that Sony's working on for the next gen. And that's it. But they didn't have any presence at the con, which is odd because I know 2 years ago they had, was it God of War Ascension.
Yeah.
Last year I thought they were here as well, weren't they? Or am I confusing myself? I don't remember what they had last year if they were here.
I wasn't here. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I just remember,
Must have been
I
great.
regret not coming.
They had a big booth when they had God of War Ascension. That was
It was
full
huge.
multiplayer.
They had like a freaking 20-foot
No.
tall wall.
Yeah.
I remember walking by it constantly because I was like, I couldn't see anything behind it.
Else, yeah.
God of War!
God.
And God of
Yeah.
War! And God of War.
But here, this year, it was only Capcom. Really had the only...
No, we had Bandai Namco.
and Bandai
They
Namco.
showed off
Oh, come on.
Pac-Man Adventures of Ghostly, whatever the hell, 2, and
Ghostly
Project Cars,
Adventures
which is
2.
important.
Yeah. They had
Sure.
Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah, Lords
which
of
is
the Fallen.
Dark
Was it
Souls
you?
knockoff.
Did you play that?
I played Lords of the
And
Fallen.
how was it?
They also had Dark Souls, The Crown of the Iron King, if you didn't already buy the DLC.
Oh, the DLC?
They had a booth with that. That was kind of cool. I did play Lords of the Fallen. It feels a lot like Dark Souls. There are some rough mechanics that I still don't quite understand. Like, for example, there's this one enemy you can't guard break. So I spent a lot of time just getting my ass kicked because I couldn't figure out. And I'm thinking maybe I just don't understand the mechanics. There wasn't anybody that I could speak with at the time when I played the demo, but overall it was like a rougher Dark Souls, which isn't too bad considering Dark Souls is a pretty good series.
What do you mean by rougher?
Rougher as in
Like it's harder?
Combat feels a little less polished. Like swing speed feels weird. It's difficult to tell when you knock into an enemy, like if you're actually having any effect on them or anything like that.
Okay.
So it feels a little looser, not quite as accurate as Dark Souls. But overall, my impressions were fairly positive. So I'd like to see what the full game is. I'm a little disappointed that there's also only one main character. You can't create your own character. It's one storyline.
Oh, so it's much more story-focused?
It's much more story-focused.
Oh, well...
Yeah.
Is that
There's nothing wrong with some story.
No, but when it takes over completely,
Fuck that guy.
then I can't stand.
Beyond Two
can't
Souls.
stand
God, sorry, I had something in my throat there.
Yeah.
Beyond Two Souls was amazing.
What? Seriously?
It was amazing. No, it was terrible. It was
Oh,
the worst
okay.
fucking game ever.
Someone tweeted out, Beyond Two Souls at Best Buy for $9.99, and I was like, still not worth my money.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that cheap-ass gamer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anything else that you liked at Namco?
No.
I was there briefly. I saw some of the mobile games they were doing. Nothing too exciting, at least that I would get excited by. What I did like was the mobile version of Pac-Man Championship Edition,
Okay.
Deluxe, and it looked. What was that? That was weird. There's some kind of spirit in this
Anomaly.
hotel room.
Strange
yeah.
voice in the background. I'm not sure who that was. It's odd.
Maybe it was Pac-Man.
Maybe it was.
because that looked great. It looked really good. It looks like a new version of the game because I had a world map or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. And it's free to play, so I guess the more you play, the more the map unlocks.
Is this mobile? Is this?
It is mobile.
Okay.
Wait, is this the really, really energetic Pac-Man?
Yeah.
Okay, where it changes color and you just go nuts just eating all sorts of shit.
Yeah, and there's
Okay.
long lines of ghosts.
Yeah.
You rack up points
it's
and all
like
that.
a combo kind
Yes,
of thing.
it looks fantastic.
And it has a world map now. How does that work?
I
just select
think-
your stage from that, or
Yeah, but I think it has something to do with how it's free to play. So I guess the more you play, the map you're in
Is
now.
it free to play or is it pay to win?
well,
I think is the bigger
I'm sure,
concern.
I'm sure you could probably buy
extra lives or something.
each
They might
world back.
that, or they might limit you like how many lives you can play like consecutively. I think.
They did mention there was no energy mechanic because I know I don't play a lot of mobile games, but I know that there's some kind of energy mechanic where you play for a while, and if you die like 3 times, you have to wait like a day or something for the game to
Candy
be playable
Crush
again.
Is like that. Like for example,
Yeah.
like you have to wait you
I
get one
refuse
life
to
every
play that
20
game.
minutes.
It's crap because
It
if
is
you want to get good at the game and you keep dying,
I don't
That is
think
you're
I've
never going
ever
to get good.
experienced. I don't because I play Clash of Clans and I've never. I mean, like, you have to wait a few minutes to like recreate any of like the crew that you've expanded. Like I think 30 minutes for a dragon, which is the most powerful, is like the most. But I've never played a game that's.
Candy
That's
Crush is
pretty
a lot
bad.
like that. It is unfortunately pretty bad. But Candy Crush is also kind of a
Can
Candy
you hold
Crush-
that just so I can take my jacket off?
No problem.
It's warm.
It is warm in here.
Do you want me to? Do you, if you hit the down arrow to like down? No, not the up. The down. The down. No. That's plenty cold.
That's 68 degrees. That's not cold, you babies.
It's okay. All right now, we're all okay.
Okay. Anyway, so like I was saying, a Candy Crush is unfortunately a little unfair in that respect because it gets a little tedious. I feel like Candy Crush though is designed for like commuters. You play, you have 5 lives, which is more than enough for like a 20 or 30 minute train ride, and you're done. And that's it. The live system is arbitrary though, and they really kind of encourage you with those microtransactions.
Then
which is
why
frustrating.
not just play fucking Bejeweled?
Oh, I do play Bejeweled.
But then
all
why
the
don't
time.
other people play Bejeweled versus Candy Crush?
Candy
like,
Crush-
what's the difference? What's the difference?
I don't want to like sound like some kind of total nerd, but there's actually a lot of mechanical differences between Bejeweled.
You're like turning. You're
All
blushing.
right,
You're
let's go back.
There's
to
a
Namco.
lot of mechanical differences.
Was there anything else that you played, Tatjana?
I didn't play it at New York Comic Con. I played it at the GameStop Managers Conference. That was like 3 weeks ago. I played Project Cars, and that seems like
Was this at the booth?
yes, it was at the booth
Okay.
here at Comic Con. I just didn't play it here. I played it, shortly before. But it seems like it's taking aspects from Forza and Gran Turismo and kind of like putting them together. Because Gran Turismo for me, it's like it is car porn. It really is, but it's a little too like real. And
So
I
it's
just
too sim-like?
it's very, very like what the Gran Turismo actually did was they did what's called the Gran Turismo Academy, where they took people that were good at the game and that weren't professional drivers at all whatsoever, put them behind a Gran Turismo like setup with like 3 screens and a wheel and stuff, and then they actually drove in an actual professional setting in a real car with race suits and shit afterwards. So I think Project Cars is taking a little bit away from that, just the sim mechanic aspect, but you can still tweak your cars like you would be able to in Gran Turismo and adding like a little bit more Forza. And if it's done right, it could surpass Forza as like the greatest car gaming of all time.
Oh, those are big.
That's a pretty big boast.
Those are
but-
fighting words.
Okay.
I mean, and if you know me, I love Forza. I just love Forza. So if Project Cars can actually deliver on all those things, like the heavy customization, with the option of being able to do heavy sim driving, but also the option to be a little bit more arcadey and customization and how you want it to drive, it does have potential to be really, really good.
Is this a new IP?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
This was at the Bandai.
Correct.
In the back. Okay.
So Namco Bandai.
That's
Have they
impressive.
done
I kind of
any
wish I'd
game
seen
like this before? Because I only think of like Pac-Man and Dragon Ball and other games, not car games. What the hell is going on?
We're laughing at this fucking guy.
Were there any other games there besides Namco and Capcom games? Because I feel like if you're going...
At Comic Con,
yeah.
nothing that I can think. I'm sure there was, absolutely. Unfortunately, I think I
Oh,
spent
that
a lot
Brave
of my time.
Frontier game.
Brave Frontier, that's true. I didn't
Gabe's-
see that.
Did you try that?
I did not try it.
It looks.
No, Namco has done car racing games before. They did the Rally X games.
Oh. Anyone play the Dragon Ball game? Because I saw that and I thought it looked a
And the
lot
F1
like
games.
all the other Dragon Ball fighting games there have ever been. So I walked right
I
by
did
it.
not try it.
Namco did Ridge Racer?
I did not try it, unfortunately.
Was there a Dragon Ball MMO there?
Was there?
I don't think so. I think it was just Dragon Ball ZV,
I thought that's
XV,
what it was,
whatever.
XV or some funky thing. Is that an MMO? I thought it
I
was
think
just
you could create your own Saiyan or something like that.
really?
You could be a Namekian like Piccolo, or a Saiyan like Goku and Vegeta, or a regular old boring human like
Interesting.
Krillin and Yamcha, and then go to town.
I wish I had known that. I would have asked somebody for help and had somebody guide me for that.
I think I saw someone tweeting that you couldn't be black in the game.
What?
What is that race? I don't understand. Black. What is that?
I heard you could only be...
What is this word?
I heard you could only be like a Caucasian character. Like you couldn't.
But you can be
black.
you can be a green skinned.
You can be green skin, but you can't be like of darker Hispanic race. You have to be white or green.
They should.
White or green. Interesting.
Hopefully they'll patch that out.
Yeah. Play as Popo.
Get some more. If you could be Mr. Popo.
Yes.
I think there were a few more characters of color than that
Yeah.
in the series. I can't name any, but I think there might have been.
I think so too.
There were a lot of Namco racing games. Thanks Google for putting us to shame.
All right.
Our Racing Revolution was the last one, back in 2003.
Wait, they did Ridge Racer.
And they did Ridge Racer and Rally X.
What happened to? All right, well that's a topic for a whole.
That's a whole
other-
other-
That's another 3-hour podcast.
What happened to this game?
What happened to Ridge
Okay.
Racer? Yeah, because Ridge Racer 4 was good. Okay, Capcom. I guess that's the brunt of
Yeah,
our
well, Capcom
conversation
had
right now.
Resident Evil Revelations 2. I
You,
didn't get a
you
chance to-
played that, didn't
I
you?
did not.
You did.
No one got. Am I the only one?
I think you're the. You said it was
Monster Hunter
meh.
was great. That's about it.
You said mess, so I was like,
Yeah.
I'll take Tim's word
I mean,
for
it was only like 10 minutes, if that.
Are these new characters? Are these...
Nope. It's Claire Redfield,
Okay.
who's been in Resident Evil 2 and Code Veronica and a few other spin-offs.
Yeah.
So it's nice that she's back. She looks different.
That's why I didn't recognize her.
Yeah,
I
her
was
face
like,
is
she has
almost-
a red jacket.
It's completely different. I don't know. They keep doing this with their characters. Chris doesn't look the same from Resident Evil 1 to 5. Jill that looks completely different from game to game to game.
Yeah, she has a different hair color in every single game. I've come to notice.
So I don't blame you for not recognizing her, but it is supposed to be Claire Redfield. She wakes up again in a prison, in an island prison jail cell, just like in Code Veronica.
Okay.
So they're doing these callbacks to the series, which I guess is what you do when your series is in trouble, is that you
Yeah.
rely on fan service a bit.
Relying on Shinji Mikami's great
Legacy.
wases.
Yeah.
But she is joined this time by Moira Burton, who is Barry Burton's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So Barry Burton's a big fan favorite. From he's
Who's
these,
Barry's baby mama?
I don't know. I mean, we've always known he was a family man
Yeah.
since Resident Evil 1. We just never met any of them.
Okay.
We knew that he was that Wesker was threatening his family in Resident
Right,
Evil 1,
that's right, that's
and that's why he worked with him. So now we get to meet the daughters. This is several years after Resident Evil 1. So she's grown up.
So is it after Code Veronica?
She yeah, I think this takes place after Resident Evil 6.
Yeah.
I think it might be before Resident Evil 6 because they tend to do
26.
interquels. 6.
I know.
This is I mean it has to be better than 6. But I liked what I played more than
All of 6.
6. This is definitely in the same league as I guess Leon's campaign from 6 and Resident Evil Revelations, because it was slow paced at first, but it wasn't really like the old classic games. It's still behind the shoulder. There's still a lot of like objectives that you have to follow, and which I hate because it's like the game is not that complicated anyway.
Yeah.
So why are you telling me where to go and what to do?
Right. Yeah.
There's one hallway. I think I got the gist of it. I think I know where to go. But the controls are pretty good. They're actually really good. They're a little mixed up a bit. Like you hold, I think L2 to bring up your gun now, and you use R2 to shoot. I guess it's just because analog trigger buttons on next-gen systems finally feel really good
Yeah, no, they
to
do.
use. So they've switched to
It's very
using
smooth.
those. Yeah, I think
Some
that's
resistance.
Okay.
why they did that.
And
So
then-
it feels good. But I don't know if it's going to be that interesting. We'll
Yeah.
see.
That remains.
But
to be
what
seen.
what I am excited for, because I never played the Ace Attorney games, is the trilogy that's set to actually come out on December 9th, right before my birthday, which is
Yeah.
kind of exciting. Happy birthday to me. And
Yay.
I will play
Yay.
them on my birthday. And it'll only be $30, which is
Pretty good.
pretty good considering, like, used copies of the originals are still $15-20 a pop.
Yeah.
So you can get the original trilogy in 3D, one cartridge, $30.
Not bad.
And this is a digital download, right?
Is it?
I think it
I
is.
thought it was a cartridge.
I think it's digital only. I think that's Capcom's.
Oh,
I think that's Capcom's MO
I hate
with
I hate
Phoenix Wright games, because the last one was Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies.
Dual Destinies, I think. Yeah.
Was digital only.
It. Not a fan.
I think that's their method of doing it, because I don't think they
Easier.
think
It's cheaper.
it's easier and cheaper, I guess, and I don't think they have much faith in that many people buying physical copies of these games. But even though Professor Layton was
Layton
physical,
is
right?
huge, though.
Layton is bigger
Layton
than
is
Ace.
a massive series.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, hold on. Phoenix Wright, I hate that they both start with P.
Yeah.
Phoenix Wright is a very, like, specific crowd. Like,
Yeah.
you have to like A, law and investigation, and B, wanting to have a game that...
Different art
you have
styles,
to, Yeah,
too.
different art
I
styles.
think the anime
you
art
have to
style-
read a lot and stuff, but Professor Layton's puzzles
It's
and...
very puzzle. It's
Kids,
very
adults,
accessible.
elderly
Exactly.
people, teenagers, people our age, everyone kind of enjoys a good, hard puzzle.
Yeah.
That's what.
And I
Layton
think
does,
that's why
it's so
Capcom sells it
popular. I think-
physically.
I remember reading somewhere that the Ace Attorney games only sell like a couple of million in total, like the whole series, whereas the Layton games have sold over like 15 million copies, like overall through their series. So it's a much bigger,
Audience.
broader audience. Yeah.
Well, I just wish Capcom would take a chance, man, and
Wow.
just release those for everyone.
Talking about not taking chances and playing it safe. Well, not really safe, but Monster Hunter was pretty good, at least.
Monster Hunter was my favorite thing of the show.
Granted, it doesn't really reinvent the wheel, but
No.
but it does polish up what's good about the games already.
Was the jump from the... Like, I haven't played a Monster Hunter since 2 Ultimate on the PSP.
Hmm.
Was the jump from the last PSP one to the 3DS, like, that...
Really big. Yeah.
Okay, so it was really big.
There was,
So
a lot of,
this is-
there was a lot of new gameplay changes.
So this is kind of like polishing what was wrong with that jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, which there wasn't a whole lot. I mean, the third one had underwater swimming sections, which people had mixed reactions to.
Had climbing as well.
I didn't mind them. They added a lot of variety to battles, I thought. This new one, 4, takes out the underwater missions
Okay.
and puts in a whole lot more vertical level design, which is even cooler. So I guess all the areas are much hillier, much more mountainous.
They make climbing a lot faster as well. You can actually fight while climbing. You can do jump attacks, jumping down onto monsters as well, while fighting as well. And that's a new mechanic I noticed as well, is a mounting feature, which reminds me a little bit of the Dragon's Dogma, where you can kind of jump onto the back of the monster and like do damage, and it's like a mini game kind of thing where you compete with the monster, and if you manage to deplete the gauge before the monster bucks you off, you can knock them down for extra time and do more damage if you're playing with a party, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, I loved it. I wanted to keep playing more of it. There were two whole new weapons.
Yeah.
The Insect Glaive and the Charge Blade, and if you're a series veteran, you're going to like them a lot, because they add so much new nuances to the gameplay. Like the the Charge Blade is like 3 or 4 weapons in one, and that's just cool as hell.
And then the Insect Glaive, I think it takes like properties from wherever you strike the insect. Like if you hit the legs, I think it gives you like a speed bonus, whereas if you hit like...
Is that what it does?
Yeah, I think that's what the insect
Oh.
does. So you aim it at specific body parts to get a bonus based on whatever body part you hit. And then the glaive, I think, takes that property. I think, if that's that's how you describe it to me. I didn't get a chance to play with it, unfortunately, because I suck. So I played with Sword and Shield. But that's how it was described to me by the guys at the Capcom booth. So it sounds like an interesting and pretty in-depth weapon.
Plus, it has online,
And, of course, the online.
which is pretty big for I think a handheld system. I think that's a pretty big deal.
And it's
still.
it's a big jump for Nintendo, considering they haven't had much of an online presence beyond, I think, Mario Kart 8, which was their first kind of real jump.
Yeah. Well, I think Mario Kart DS way back.
That's true.
2005 was the first major one.
Was it that long ago?
It was.
Was it online?
God.
I'm pretty sure it was. I think it was.
I guess so.
Yes, it was, because I remember the whole snaking thing, where you could just drift constantly and never lose. And I didn't see it on the 4 there, but apparently Ultra Street Fighter 4 had some kind of presence.
It was the panel,
it was a
the
panel?
Fists of the Assassins panel. They're doing a new patch release. I think it's gonna launch in December. And I remember the guy saying that the patch release was like to balance things. I can't remember the exact term they used, but he said it was like to balance things out and like to make everything
That's a pretty tall order.
not so unbalanced. And then they're also releasing an Omega mode.
Yeah.
Which I don't remember
I think
what the
Omega mode was some weird
does.
kind of glitchy mode in Street Fighter 2, where, like... Was it Street Fighter 2?
You could, like, throw Hadoukens at your feet or something?
Kind of, like...
It was Street Fighter 3.
Yeah, was it 3?
Yeah.
Okay. And you could do all sorts of crazy moves.
They're putting that
weren't
into
intended. Yeah.
Ultra Street Fighter 4.
Because why not?
Sure.
Because Capcom.
It's free, right?
And it's free.
I believe
it
so,
is
yes.
free, yeah.
That's nice. That's nice of them to do. For once.
Thanks,
Free
Capcom,
DLC.
for something free.
And anything about netcode? They're going to improve the netcode?
Yes, for
Hopefully
PC
for
especially.
PC.
Oh, Jesus.
It was PC. It was PC netcode is getting heavily improved with this upcoming patch.
Good, because it's practically unplayable.
Is it really?
As of right now, yeah. I have it on, I love having a fighting game on PC, because I can just, throw a few rounds.
And you love not being able to play it, too.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, it worked before, ironically enough, on Games for Windows Live, but since from the move from Games for Windows Live to Steam, it just went to hell. Yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully they'll patch it up and fix it right up.
Hope so.
Capcom, I think that's it for Capcom.
Just about. I think so.
So,
I think they had more last year with Strider and...
did you mention Strider?
I think Strider was there, too.
Strider was not there this year.
No, but Strider was there last year.
Yeah, oh yeah, and Strider.
Strider. Yeah.
Not many other games. This was a very light year for
It
games.
was very light, unfortunately. But we did get to see a couple of good things, I suppose.
Yeah. I think Alien Isolation was at some booth, like Twitch's booth or something.
Yeah,
I don't know
I did see
why
that.
was there.
I'm not sure. But because I hear it's a good game from,
I like what I
hearsay.
played of it. I've only played about, I'm like 3 missions deep, so not that far at all. I hear it's like
I heard
20
it's really
missions
good.
long.
I
It's
heard
supposed to be
some
great.
article, I can't remember what who wrote the review, but someone said it really capitalized on survival and not horror, which is what made it really cool.
That sounds great. I think horror is kind of making a comeback a little bit.
Evil Within.
Evil Within coming out
This
soon.
week.
So stoked.
Aliens out
PT,
already.
if y'all haven't played it yet.
Oh man, I
love me some
flipped
PT.
out about PT last episode.
I definitely had this subconscious conversation with my roommate because we played it together and we both knew that if we were to do something to each other because it was dark, we were gonna punch each other in the mouth, it was just gonna happen. It was just because we played it in the dark.
Uh-huh.
So you
And,
physically...
and I live in a large house that has a lot of corners and stuff. So I think we both just knew subconsciously don't screw with the other person because you will get punched in the mouth. It's just
Oh, I
gonna
see what you
happen.
mean.
It
Okay.
was we were that freaked out
No,
about
jump
it.
scares among yourselves.
Exactly.
So were there any other events or panels or anything you overheard
Kevin
at
Smith!
Comic-Con? Was it Kevin Smith?
I met Kevin Smith, which was very brief, but he was still really nice, and it was super amazing. It was kind of like meeting God. I remember when I love Kevin Smith.
Quite the...
What's your favorite Kevin Smith thing? Movie, comic?
Shit. I think, what was the stand-up thing called? 40 Years and... Oh, God, why can't I remember what it's called?
I don't know. But An Evening with Kevin Smith, his first
Not that one, it's
stand-up talk thing?
Fat and 40 or whatever, where his 2-hour stand-up thing, it was supposed to be a Q&A somewhere, and it was just the guy asked one question: what's it like working with Bruce Willis? And he went on this 2-hour rant about life, and it just all ended with Bruce Willis is an asshole, but he can do whatever he wants. And Zach and Miri make a porno, although one of his more recent films I thought was a great love story and a good movie altogether. And then he also did a thing a couple years ago with Kevin Pereira, Felicia Day, and a couple other people. It was called like the Geek Up, which was like a panel of them like talking about nerd stuff, and Nintendo was there, and it was really cool. No, I love Kevin Smith, and then I got to meet Eddie McClintock from Warehouse 13, which I fangirled so hard I choked on my own saliva when he asked me where I was from.
Oh my
that
God.
was embarrassing, but he was still a really nice guy. Gave good hugs, and then Eric Scarecrow I got to see.
Who's he?
He's the guy that makes all the really cool vinyl figures. I don't know if you've ever seen the vinyl Nathan Drake figures.
No.
They're really cool. The lanyard that I was wearing was Eric Scarecrow. It's esctoy.com, by the way, for anyone that wants to check it out. But he's very, like, Japanese art, New York street, gaming-influenced, like, all-in-one. Like, Avion got a really cool print that was all, like, crazy graffiti colors and style, and it was, like, Spider-Man, like, in street clothes, like... And it was just really cool. Like, his style is definitely really unique, and it was really cool to, like, give him a bunch more of my money and add to my collection at home. So
Cool.
Nice. How about you?
No, that's about
No,
it.
nothing?
Like, just, it was really the gaming stuff that I came
Yeah.
here for, and that's about all I did. I did buy some stupid souvenirs. Like, I bought a couple of Keyblades, and,
Keyblades?
yeah, I bought a
Like
couple of
like
Keyblades.
keychains or like
Keyblades.
whole,
like Kingdom
whole
Hearts.
giant-
Kingdom Hearts, no, keychain Keyblades, yes.
keychain
Okay.
keyblades.
Not like a series
Key
of
squared.
blunt key swords, no.
Yeah.
But just little keychain Keyblades that I can...
You'd be the most hated person on the subway if you bought more than one Keyblade and had to transport them back to your home.
Yeah, my brother had to transport 2 wooden swords back home. I don't know how the fuck he did that, but yeah.
Sure, he
It
was
was
hated.
good to just catch up with a lot of people we haven't seen in a while. And,
Yeah.
Tony
That was good,
Polanco
Yeah.
from
Coalition.
Now the Coalition.
Coalition.
He mentioned he saw Dracula Untold,
Really?
and
That it was, what, Castlevania,
and
that
it was
movie?
like, he
Castlevania.
confirms it is Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, the movie.
That's
Like apparently
terrifying.
to a T.
Which is, I guess, great if that's what you want to see in a Dracula movie.
He liked it.
I'm sure he did. But I'm like a Dracula fan, like the novel.
Right.
So I want to see a Dracula movie where he's just a fucking monster and not some, like, heroic anti-hero or some nonsense. I don't know. But that's just me.
What'd you think of Bram Stoker's
I
Dracula?
thought it was terrible. Wait, Bram Stoker, the book?
No, well, the
book
movie.
is great.
No, the movie.
You mean
with,
Coppola's?
Well, it's called
Yeah.
Bram Stoker's Dracula,
That was
directed
that
by
was
Francis Ford Coppola.
that was a piece of
Yeah.
garbage. It was a literal piece of garbage. Like, that's where that shit belongs.
Yeah.
It's right in the trash.
Oldman couldn't redeem any of it. for
Oldman
you?
was good. I thought he was
Yeah.
okay, but I didn't like how they completely rewrote his history as suddenly, like, damning God because his wife died. None of that mattered.
They keep
He
doing
was
that.
a monster
All these
because
movies keep doing that.
the mystery behind him is kind of what makes Dracula interesting.
Yeah.
So, you knowing his origin, I feel, just ruins his character. If you want a
Right.
sympathetic monster, go read Frankenstein. Dracula
Yes.
was never a sympathetic
Speaking of Frankenstein, anyone see I, Frankenstein?
monster. No.
Not yet. I do like me some Aaron Eckhart.
I do too.
I even saw, what was that, Battle for L.A.?
Oh.
The Alien movie?
God.
Remember that?
No, I
I
did not.
remember that. It actually wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that good.
It wasn't that, well, it wasn't that good, but it wasn't that bad either. It was a middle C.
Your taste sometimes confuses
Well, he said it
me.
was a C. He said it was a
But
C.
this is the man that also liked, what, Iron Man 3 the best?
The best? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't say the best. I would say it was great. Iron Man 1 is still the best.
Oh, okay.
It goes 1, 3, 2 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just or didn't you like... Oh, you loved Spider-Man 3. That's what it
It's
is.
the best movie ever made. That's
Nerd. No. Spider-Man 2.
I remember the jazz music.
Oh, Jesus.
So good. All right. Spider-Man. Any cosplay? Any worthwhile cosplay?
I saw Midna the last day.
Midna was really good.
Pretty
yeah.
good,
And
actually.
we finally saw Waluigi.
We did see
You found a
We found
Waluigi?
a
one Waluigi.
Was there?
Yeah.
Is there pictures? Is there
There
a
is
photo?
a picture.
I got a photo.
We got
I'll
a
put it up.
You should put it up with this podcast. That should be the featured image.
It'll be
Waluigi.
The banner image.
The
yeah.
one Waluigi of
I'm
comics.
trying to think. I saw a really cool Ellie cosplay. A cool Joel because he had like a real brick with him.
He was a terrible cosplay, but that brick was
But
amazing.
he had a real
How-
brick. The only
that's-
thing that
that's
was
a-
terrible, I mean, the only thing that wasn't accurate was the fact that he
didn't have
was
a
too
beard.
young to have a beard. The kid was like
Yeah, it was-
16. He couldn't grow a beard. Like, I mean, no reason to hate I'm
not hating it.
The
I'm
shirt,
just
the
saying.
backpack, the jeans, and the damn brick were completely fucking accurate.
one of those hoodie
Oh, but no. You know what? I'd rather a clean-shaven baby Joel than a baby, like a Joel with like a half-assed drawn beard.
I feel like he needs.
And then the Jack. Were you there when we saw the Jack today? I thought he was pretty well done.
who?
From Jack and Dexter.
Oh
yeah.
He was pretty good.
He was
He had
good,
the
yeah.
orb, and he was
But
cool.
16 is not too young to grow a beard. I'll
some
report.
it is.
I'm not cutting him any slack. He should have.
Yeah, he should have.
You guys are good.
Should have gotten some Rogaine and working on that beard ahead of time if you wanted that.
Should have done more push-ups or something.
But I'll give him credit for the beard. I mean, for the brick.
The brick.
The
The
brick.
brick in the end is always what matters.
Yeah.
It just sounds like an easy cosplay. Last of Us. Let's just like put on some shitty clothes and pick up a beard. A beard. I mean a brick. Yeah. Throw on a comedy beard and go to town.
Oh god.
Kill your daughter and play.
Whoa! That's not what happened.
In the first 10 minutes of the game.
He didn't kill her.
No, but she dies,
But
and that's
she did die.
Yeah, that's the
And
backstory.
It was a fucked up.
It was really good.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, for the first 10 minutes of the game.
I'm trying to think of other good cosplays.
Yeah.
I mean, there were actually some good ones.
Oh, that RoboCop. RoboCop, if you're listening, call me.
Did you actually saw his face?
Well, let me
He
show
was
you.
a poor RoboCop.
No.
If you saw his face.
No, I did not see the top part of his face.
Oh, so
but
his jaw.
his voice, and he had a very defined jaw. Let me show you so you
Let's
can
find that. We'll
So
put that.
all those I saw some really good Batman.
Look at that smile. Look at that face. That is a sexy RoboCop. Okay?
Oh, it's new RoboCop.
It's new RoboCop. though, so
But I
it's
mean, the
new- it
costume
doesn't count
itself
as much.
was very Robo. Like, I mean, it was definitely hard for him to walk.
That
Like,
does look pretty good.
It was really good. I liked it. God, who's that laughing in the
I don't know.
Someone must be listening.
Swear to
It's-
God.
This hotel is
I
haunted.
think Tesla died in this hotel. I
Nikola
swear,
Tesla?
because I hear a laughter. In the
That's an out of left field reference.
I can't.
All right.
Tesla thing was because Tesla died in what hotel was it?
The
Was
New
it
Yorker.
The New Yorker.
My previous hotel.
Yeah, which apparently is not true because I swear to God, I hear some laughter in the background. It's just kind of creeping me out.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah.
I mean, like, someone said earlier, this is like a hotel of electricity.
Yeah.
This should be. Was that you?
That wasn't me.
No, was that you?
I think that
Someone?
was-
I don't know
All
who that
hotels
was.
full of electricity.
But
these
this
days?
is like the
That's
Virgin
nothing
America
special.
of hotels. It's like this is
close.
the modern marvel.
Yeah.
Tesla died here.
Yes,
Or at
a
least
few
you should.
blocks away from Comic-Con, which was okay this year.
It was okay.
It was alright.
It could have had a better video game showing, but overall,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun.
Me too.
A
Well,
lot of fun people watching.
Yeah.
It was definitely good people
if
watching.
you want to people watch, Comic-Con is the place to go to.
It is. It absolutely is.
All the eccentricities you see in New York.
And also, Jatvis Center, if there's a bathroom in the press area and you have a press badge, you should definitely let your attendees use it. If they have a press badge, just saying.
That makes a lot of sense.
That was horrific.
That got a bit messy, yes. It did.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that was New York Comic-Con 2014.
Yes.
We're getting old.
We're getting. Oh God.
Yes, 1 year closer to death. That's what I always wanted.
That's what I always wanted too. Yeah. Oh God. All right. On that bleak note, sleep tight, everybody.
And happy Halloween. I
Happy
guess.
Halloween! Yeah, who knows when we'll have a podcast next, so don't take any wooden nickels, watch out for razor blades, and
Don't eat candies.
don't
from strangers.
don't eat candy. Well, yeah.
Then you're not going to have any candy to eat, so... Have your mom try it first before you eat
Yes, have your mom test all
All
the
the
poison
candy.
first.
it. Yep.
All right, we'll see you next time.
All right, have a good night.